Kitchen and how to eat vegetables. Today it is the day before Thanksgiving and I want to make some apple pie. Apple pie, you say? Well, I'm going to make it the whole food fresh way because I always want to make it as fresh as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some walnuts and just some salt. I'm going to make the crust with that. Now I'm going to put this on until it actually sticks onto the sides, pulls away from the middle and sticks onto the sides, and that's the kind of dough that I want. But I'm not going to pull you through that time because it's loud, and I'll just show you when I come back. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. All right, I want to show you what it looks like. As you can see, it actually is starting to stick on the sides. And that's what I want. And if I were just to take a little bit, you can see how it actually sticks together. Now when I put that in my pie crust, and I smash it on the sides, and I put this in the refrigerator, it actually kind of sets up, and it is more like a crust instead of the crumbles that you see now. Now the cool thing about this is just omega-3s in the walnuts, and all it is walnuts with salt. Now I do have here medjool dates, and if you wanted it to have a little sweet taste, you would put some medjool dates with it. Of course, take the pits out. But I wanted a little bit on the salty side. I like the saltiness of a crust with the sweetness of the apples. And I'm going to be right back to show you how to make the apples. See you in a little bit. Hey, welcome back. I wanted to show you the apple filling that I'm going to use. I just took some Granny Smith apples. I kind of like the tartness of them. And I'm going to take some lemons. Now I have a seed in there I want to take away. And so I'm just going to take some fresh lemon juice. Remember though, the whole thing about the way that I'm making things is I want to use the whole foods and I want to stay as close to nature as possible. And although I'm tempted to put some spinach in here, I think my family would have a fit. So we're just going to keep it this regular apple pie. Alright, so what I've done here is I've taken up the lemon. Oh, I have a couple seeds that I got to get. Okay, so now I have that. And what I want to do now, you can have a couple different ways to sweeten this. You can use raisins, you can use medjool dates, pitted, or some honey. I'm going to actually use honey because I enjoyed the light taste of it. The raisins were a little bit too sweet for me, and I like an apple pie that has a tartness to it. So I'm just going to take a little bit. I don't measure anything, but I'm just going to have just maybe a tablespoon or so. That's maybe about 2 tablespoons, maybe 2.5. All right, the one thing I did forget was cinnamon. I'll be right back. Okay, I had forgot the cinnamon, so I'm back with the cinnamon. And again, I'm just going to take the cinnamon, put it in there like that. Again, you can use raisins or dates. And I'm going to be back to show you what it looks like. This gets very loud. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm back, and I want to show you what I'm left with. I have it's kind of still a little bit of crunchies in here. Now you notice that I left the actual skins on the apple. I buy organic apples, so I'm not so much worried about pesticides or anything like that. Plus the skin adds some flavor and some texture to it. Not only has that, it has that wonderful carbohydrate pectin in it, and that is wonderful for our digestive system. Anyway, that's another story. But this is my fresh apple pie. So now I'm going to put a little one together to show you what it looks like. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. I told you I'm going to put together a small pie. Now again, if you're at home and you're making it for a big family, what I would do is I would make the crust, make the filling, and I would keep them separate. The crust by itself, you can put it into the pie pan, or you can put it into the small cups like I'm going to do, and put them in the refrigerator. And right before you're ready to serve, just doll out the apples with it. What happens is that the nuts will get soggy. Just like in regular apple pie, the crust gets soggy. Some people like that. I kind of like a little bit more of the texture of the nuts. So, all right, so here I am. So I'm going to make a small samples. I think you saw that before. I'm going to put my apple pie, or my crust in here. All it is walnuts and salt. Again, you can put medjool dates if you like to have a little bit more of a sweetness. I like the contrast of the salt. So I'm going to put that in there. Make a little well. I see that I made it all the way to the bottom of the cup, so I want to add just a little bit more. There we go. Put that. Make my little wells. Oops. And have to add a little bit more. Now this is sitting because I've just been making the video, but I'm going to actually have this in the refrigerator, and these will kind of like toughen up a little bit in the refrigerator. All right, so you see the wells, and then right before I serve, I would take a little bit of the apple and put it inside my cup, and that is a fresh apple pie. Now I've already tried this recipe on many people, and I'll tell you what, this was one of their favorites. Along with the pumpkin pie with the cashew whipped cream, this was one of their favorites. Not only that, after eating this, even if you eat a big slice, you don't have that heavy feeling after you eat dessert. The cool thing about what I'm doing here of these desserts is that I'm using all whole foods. I'm using fresh apples. I'm using fresh walnuts. Well, relatively fresh. I didn't go out and pick them, but I'm using everything is here that's whole, it's closest to nature. So even my desserts are going to count to nourishing my body. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy.